Community. What does it mean? The dictionary says a group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common. To me, I had a complex feeling about community. See, I have a religious background. So, to me, a community means to have a lot of rules, means to also to blend in with the community, not to stand out. And to me, as a creative person who likes to express themselves, was very difficult. So I always felt like an outsider. Even after I broke free from my religious roots, I still felt that I didn't find my people that I belong to, that I belong with. Because I'm also an introvert, so I like and appreciate my time alone, to be with my thoughts, and this is my biggest energy source. But I am also human, so of course I do like to be around other people that resonate with my values, especially just creative people who like to express themselves creatively, people who allow themselves to be vulnerable, people who allow others to be vulnerable as well. I'm not saying that I never had friends or I never found people. I did find in my traveling and in my college days. It's just, it was always temporary. So yeah, this is my complex feeling about community. Something changed my relationship with the community. And I want to share this story of how I got to this island in the north of Norway and found a beautiful community that I got to look into from the outside for just a few days. Let's get to the point of all this. Why did I take 3 flights to an island in the north of Norway? And what does it have to do with our topic, community? And how did I even find this place that is so remote? Well, to answer that, I'll have to give you a little backstory and history about Kråkeslottet. The name Kråkeslottet means crow castle in Norwegian. It was built in 1899 as a fishing facility, a house for boats and storage for the local fish that were captured, mainly codfish. This building is sitting on a little pier, you can call it an islet, in the west part of Senja. The place sat abandoned for quite a while, or actually for 10 years it sat there. It earned the name Crow Castle because there were crows living in the attic. Then came a man named Ulf, Han Ulf, which means he Ulf. His full name, Ulf Wils Kunsen. He had a passion for culture and he was a force of the local theater environment in Scotland. This man became the rescuer of the castle. He wanted to create a stage for good company and strong experiences. The Crow Castle became his work of art. And he was the first king of the Crow Castle. Now comes to the picture. Eventually, a new heir came to Kråkeslottet, which is Georg Lichfeldt, which I'll come back to probably again. But basically, it's not only the owner, the current owner, and the host for the annual festivals but he's also known for being a fabulous dancer and journalist. I can testify to the dancer part. Now that you caught up with the history of the place and the background and how important this place is to the community, to bring culture and music and art all to one place, we can return to the question, how did I end up here? The truth is, it's not my first time in Kråkeslottet. The first time I came here was last November. My partner and I found it on an Airbnb. We stayed for 2 nights in Georg's other facility that he built with the help of the community. And luckily for us, nobody stayed in the main house. So Georg was kind enough to give us a tour, basically, to see all over 16 rooms and the dining area, stage area where all the music concerts are happening. And I immediately fell in love with the place. I kind of knew deep down that I'll come there again, and so I did. I remember he told me about the festivals and the art residencies and all that is going on there. And so a few months have passed since November, and my partner shows me an ad on their Facebook page that says that they're looking for volunteers to do photography and videography of the music festival that is happening in June. But basically, I booked last-minute tickets to Tromsø, and from Tromsø, had another journey to go through, and I had no idea how, basically, but I did it. There, not knowing what to expect, basically nothing, except for the fact that I've been there before and I know how it looks like, and that I'm going to sleep in a tent on the beach. I met up with 2 other volunteers who came from Tromsø with me on the same ferry. And from that ferry, we drove for 2 hours, I think, or something like that. And we stopped by his mother's place and we had lunch, and she took us to the local sceneries in which I already seen before, but it was really cool to see it again in spring. We arrived there on Friday and put up our tent and went to see everybody in the building, in the castle. In the evening, the concert started, and the first concert was very special because it was in this kind of small living area, like a living room with a grand piano. And it was already full when I reached there. Everybody huddled around the piano, and it was just beautiful because the door was almost closed and there's a window. I literally was an outsider looking in that moment, in an intriguing way that you could actually capture a moment in time but looking from the outside. It's a very, almost an intimate moment of a community, and you just look and observe. Then there was dinner, and everybody was going to the kitchen area. I got to meet so many interesting people. Even the nature, of course the nature outside was beautiful, but the interesting part was also that concert were going on till the night. But the thing is, it was a midnight sun, so 3 a.m. and it was still light. One of the mornings, actually, I got to sit with a group of ladies that were having their breakfast, and they asked me if I wanted to join, and I did. I just brought my own food, and after they kept, talking within themselves. They asked me a few questions, and I gave them peaches and asked them for a photo. But what was the most interesting parts of this was that people asked me where I'm from, and well, I said, and they were all shocked. How? Why are you here? And I know it wasn't like in a, like, why are you here kind of a way. It was, they were intrigued that someone that came all the way to this little hole for a music festival as a volunteer. And of course, I had to tell each and every one that I've already been here and I know Georg, and it's just an adventure for me. Because why not? And people were very warm and welcoming and happy to explain things to me that within the community.
It makes me feel brave because it's so pointless to crush something like this, and it makes me feel brave because the ocean, it's just there.
Yeah. I think what amazed me the most was how in first contact with these people, they seemed very reserved and polite, and the moment it's the weekend and you give some beer and food and music, they are completely different. So alive and dancing and laughing and open and not ashamed or not shy. There was this dancing class in one of the mornings. It's called the Senja-hoppen, which is kind of a dance that is created in Senja. It was specifically for Senja. And I went to film that, of course. I was too shy to dance myself, but don't worry, that shyness went away in the evening. So I filmed them, and they're just like kids, just having fun. Not in a bad way, I mean kids like just simply enjoying the moment, enjoying the people around you, the human connection. And it was so freeing to see. I've never seen a community like that, really. It was so heartwarming. In the evening, there was a band called Homo. Shout out to them. The great music. You should check them out. But anyway, their dance is very funk and alive. At that moment is when I, let myself go and danced, and and everyone just let go and had so much fun. And so many beautiful artists that you would see here, and so many talented people. At the same time that they were very open and laughing and dancing and singing, there was another side that I appreciated a lot, which was also the vulnerable side. When music hits you in a personal level, in an emotional level, and you let yourself feel, you let yourself cry, and you do that as a whole, as a community, there's something so strong about it, in my opinion. And even though most of the songs were in Norwegian and I didn't understand a word, you just get it. Music can get you without knowing what it is about. It can move you in ways that you can't explain, really. And that's what I felt. I also cried. I also laughed. Even though on the communication part of it lacked, the emotional part kind of balanced it. That is what I'm looking for. That is what I'm hoping to find in a community, is to find that human connection. No matter what language you speak, no matter where you're from, we share the same values and the same love for nature, the same love for art, for music, that hunger for connection and inspire each other. That is what I found in this community. And that's what I'm longing for, to have that place to just simply call home. I think that's what we're all looking for, don't we? Lengter hjertet mitt heim til der du går og trør. Uansett hvor jeg er.